What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, so the topic of this video actually has, well, nothing to do directly with Splinterlands. We're going to talk about Axie Infinity, and if you missed it, there was a major hack within and around the game, and this is something that I really want to clarify. So a lot of people are saying that this is an Axie Infinity hack, anywhere between 615 million. I mean, I think I saw as high as 625 million was stolen, and the basic or the gist of it when you really get to the bottom is that it wasn't Axie Infinity that was hacked. It was the Ronin network, which is a layer 2 that exists, I believe, on top of Ethereum, or it's just a layer 2 network that also serves as a bridge, and that's where the funds were stolen from. So this is something that obviously, it's still an evolving situation right now. So I don't have all the details, and I'm still learning about it as I go along. Now, the thing with this, and the way that I'm going to wrap it back around, Splinterlands, is because I think it highlights a very important and probably not talked about enough topic, and that is the risk that we all have with our assets being in a game or on whatever kind of in a game or on a platform. And when I say in a game or platform, when I say game, I'm talking about Splinterlands. And when I say platform, I'm talking specifically about something like Hive Engine. Now, the Ronin network is probably more directly related to something like the Hive blockchain, right? Hive is its own layer 1 blockchain, but Ronin is a secondary or layer, which essentially serves as the same thing. But I believe, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Ronin was created or developed as either a sidechain or a layer 2, so that the crazy gas fees on Ethereum wouldn't be needed to be paid for every transaction that was happening, especially in a game like Axie, which does have, I think I saw here, like 2.8 million daily active players. That's kind of crazy. I didn't even realize that they were that high up. Now, the thing is, obviously, Axie Infinity and the success that Axie Infinity has had has made them a very big target. And so one of the things that I do worry about is as Splinterlands starts to get out there, the bullseye on the back of Splinterlands, right? The bullseye on Splinterlands becomes a little bit bigger, a little bit more appealing to those who are trying to do something unsavory and steal money or hack or whatever it is. So this is something that I think we should be a little bit more aware of. I think, obviously, for your own sake, personally, make sure you are doing everything to either lock your cards, hide your keys away, hide your keys, hide your wife, right? So it's do everything on your end. But the truth is that this hack, I believe, from what I'm reading, has nothing to do with individual users. This was something where they were able to find an exploit in the system, in the bridge on Ronin, and essentially withdraw, however much ETH that adds up to $615 million US. So one of the big takeaways for me from this, and in reading about this, is I think it gives a lot of fuel, unfortunately, to the people who are really, really fighting back against blockchain first and then crypto gaming, right? Because I can just imagine all of the people out there who play, centralized, non-crypto based games, looking at this and saying like, oh yeah, that's why I don't want to be involved with any of that, right? Like I don't mind paying into a game as long as whatever I have is not going to be hacked. Granted, they don't own anything in those games, but they also don't want to be hacked, right? So this just leaves a little bit of a black mark or a stain on the P2E space right now. And I'm really hoping that Axie and the community around, it seems like the exchanges have been very, very helpful in terms of trying to find out who the hackers are and if they can get the money back. And if they can, that would be an awesome way to show that, crypto, for all of its anonymity and all that, we're able to still track everything on the blockchain and able to reverse any of these major thefts or hacks or things like that. So That's probably my biggest fear, my biggest takeaway from this is really just the fact that it's going to turn off a lot of people in a time where crypto is already down. Maybe the silver lining is that nobody's really paying attention to crypto right now, right? So all the people who would potentially be interested or maybe taking a peek aren't looking at the moment, right? So they're not really, when they're doing their research, they're not seeing this 600 million, like this 9-figure essentially hack and theft that's happening in crypto. So therefore, who knows? It could be a blessing in disguise that the people, right, who would be exposed to this, if they were crypto curious, P2E curious, would be looking around, but are not at this moment just because of the fact that the market is down. I'm not going to rest too much on that. I think that at the end of the day, if there are people that are curious, they're going to look through this, and you're going to have people that will see this, do their research, understand that, one project isn't every project, but also, understand that there are risks. And at the end of the day, I'm actually very curious to hear Agrodes and Yabamet. I don't know if they're going to talk about it on the upcoming town hall, but this is something for me that I think could dampen the P2E market and the P2E space. Although, again, and I like having silver linings when it comes to all of these things. Although, when it comes to this, I think what is good is the fact that Splinterlands is not at the top of the food chain. Not yet. Hopefully we'll get there one day. But since it is not at the top of the food chain, hopefully there will be a second, third, and fourth look at the security protocols that are happening on the back end with, with everything that's happening on Splinterlands, and even for those folks who help manage and run the Hive network. So this is something, obviously, anybody who's making a crypto game or has a crypto game, I'm hoping will be taking whatever precautions they need to and using this as a major lesson learned. Now, if it's worth following and doing a follow-up video to the Axie Infinity hack, I will definitely consider doing that. Again, this doesn't really affect much doesn't affect much in Splinterlands directly, but I do think that there will be some repercussions to the broader P2E space. Now, somebody like myself, everything is fine and gravy until I wake up one day and find out that Splinterlands or Hive was hacked and I've lost all of my assets, right? And so it's just like I can do everything that I can until I can't, and like that's the limit. So there is that fear now because it has been done before that, I'm actually very curious to see how this gets resolved. And, I'm hopeful that we'll get some kind of commentary from the team about what they're doing in terms of security and how they're backing it up and making sure that all of our assets on the game, within the game, and within the Hive engine network as well are safe, just because, a lot of people have assets kind of flipping back and forth through both, if you think about it. So this actually, I am going to leave you with one thing that I think is worth mentioning. So if you are holding a lot of DEC, I would actually recommend holding it in a private wallet that is connected to the game. So for example, I use Binance Smart Chain, although I think you can go through Ethereum or some other ones as well. But if not, Binance Smart Chain is super easy and the fees are actually awesome compared to many other chains out there, or at least compared to Ethereum. And I would hold it in a private wallet because at the end of the day, you are still going to get your airdrop from that, and you'll still get your airdrop from that, and your funds will be secure in your own private wallet. It's you've connected your wallet, but I don't believe that there will be, people can't come in and take it out of your wallet. It's just it's just showing that it's connected. And somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been holding DEC in a private wallet because I think that's the safer way to go. Now, what do you miss out on that? Well, you will not be able to put it into a liquidity pool, for example. Obviously, that's going to exist if you're using something like Tribal Dex. That's going to exist on Hive Engine. And obviously, if you have it in the game and within Splinterlands itself, then it exists within the game. But, there's certain things that I look at now where it's just like, okay, how obviously so many of my assets are going to exist within the game or within, Hive Engine if I'm trying to earn something passively from them or get other types of rewards and benefits. But for everything you can hold in a private wallet, I would consider doing so. Like even your SPS, if you just have SPS kind of sitting in game, just withdraw that to a private wallet. And I know it sucks with Terra Bridge and all that, and or sorry, Terra Block as the bridge has had like way higher fees. But at the end of the day, you might sleep a little bit better, and God forbid anything does happen, you will be protected with at least the assets you have on a private wallet. And that is the beauty of crypto, right? That is exactly what crypto was made to solve. No, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Crypto was made to solve a lot of other things, but one of the beautiful things about crypto is the ability to be somewhat sovereign on your own, be a sovereign individual and manage your own finances. So that's what I'll leave you with. I would actually be very curious to hear what the community's thoughts on this are. Like I said, it's still a very much developing situation, even though I think this happened last week on March 23rd. And so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We can chat about this more, but I think this is, in a way, I'm almost, okay, let me make sure that I say this sensitively. I'm happy. I'm obviously very disturbed for the people that are affected by this. For myself, I'm glad it didn't happen to Splinterlands, and in a way that I'm happy, since it didn't happen to Splinterlands, that hopefully the folks at Splinterlands, the folks at Hive and the ones who manage Hive Engine and the Hive network will be able to take further precautions and make sure there aren't any ways that can be exploited. So that's all I have in this video. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next one, and I will see you around the game. Take care.